Chief Martin, would you please give us an invocation?
Yes, Your Honor. Heavenly Father, we gather here tonight, we thank you for our health and our ability to be here. We ask your blessing and comfort on those who may be suffering or in need. Father, examine our hearts, fill us with wisdom, so that our efforts will bring glory to you and you alone. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, good to see everybody back after a long weekend. Miranda, would you please call the roll?
Chopete.
Present.
Harrison. Here. West.
Here.
Thorne.
Here.
Perkins.
Here.
Snow.
Here.
Kane.
Here.
Wells.
Here.
Ready.
Here.
Okay, I know you've all had an opportunity to take a look at the minutes from our previous meeting. I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
I'll make a motion we approve those minutes as written.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second, to approve the minutes as written. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes are approved. All right, we do have a presentation this evening, so we will ask our presenter to step to the podium, state your name and your business, and let us know what you got for us.
Hi, I'm Mark Mink with Cochran Engineering. We got Tim Shovey here. We're working on the phase 2 of the sidewalk rehab. So we've got this visual we can put up to kind of, do we need to move that up here?
Yeah, you can see it on the screen here now too.
Okay.
It's projected as well.
Zoom out a little bit there.
So essentially, this rehab project is taking everything from the square out a few blocks. We've got Grant Street, we've got Main Street, and we've got 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and down to 5th Street. That's pretty much where we're focusing. It's gonna be about 42,000 square feet of new sidewalk. We are going to make this ADA accessible to the maximum extent feasible. It's a rehab project, Old Town, so it's gonna be challenging in places, but we've been working really close with Jeff and Josiah for coordination, and we've still got a little bit of work left to do, but it's coming along pretty well, and we just want to know if anybody has any questions, if the council has any questions for us.
Well, can you give a little flavor in terms of timing, when you think you're gonna start, how long it's gonna take?
So we're gonna try, we're not gonna, no work in October, so we're gonna try and go out to bid this summer and start work after the Maple Leaf Festival. I'd say duration for that is probably 6, what do you think?
For the bid process or the construction?
For the construction process.
I think we would allot 6 months, and we'd have it so they can only have so much amount of sidewalk ripped up at one time and replace it essentially as they go type deal. That way you don't have the surrounding blocks all tore up all at once and then come back and replace them all at once as well.
That would be putting you starting January?
Yeah, as long as the weather
After
turns
colds,
out.
that's
Yeah.
As long as the weather
a
turns
bad
out.
time to start concrete work.
And yeah, sometimes with the concrete, as long as we have warm enough days to be able to work through that as well.
Jack, you had a question?
I had a question. Could you not round the curve? They're sharp right now, just like this.
You want them sharp, or
I don't want them.
We are rounding every intersection and we're gonna lay down truncated dome for,
I'm not what you're gonna do. I'm talking about currently. Can you fix it
Oh.
here and then not do what you did here?
we can do whatever the city wants, send us.
Well, I'm just saying, you know, I mean, you pull in there, I mean, it's bam, you know, you can't actually park. I mean, you can't put your wheel or your tires on that curve.
Okay,
That's my big complaint.
we will,
But yeah, we could provide like a chamfered edge, so it kind of routes it off a little bit, and that way it prevents.
Yeah, take a cement router and just go down the. Thank you.
yes,
Beth,
sir.
you had a question?
I'm sorry.
Have you been, or do you and Josiah have a plan for talking to the businesses?
We had a meeting early on, and we spoke to a few of the property owners, and we are in the process of coordinating to get with them. Anywhere where there's gonna be a modification other than just the sidewalk, I think we're gonna do all we can to work with the property owners as far as making an ADA access, let them know what it's gonna look like.
And they do meet monthly, the Downtown Business Alliance, so that's one place where
Okay.
I think it's the first Tuesday.
First Tuesday
Yeah.
at 5:30.
Yeah, so that might be a way to capture more.
Absolutely, yes, ma'am.
Years.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Alan?
So you found any hidden coal chutes or?
That's part of our coordination. I had never heard of a coal chute until this project, but that's back to the, it's a historically old building. We're gonna get with the property owners. I think we would like them filled, but we're gonna get buy-in from each individual, each property owner. We don't, as far as, we don't even know, some places, the owners of the buildings probably don't even know that they're there, so we gotta, we'll keep that in the back of our mind when our guys are out there breaking concrete, that, they can find a surprise under there.
Josiah, you had something you want to say?
Well, I was gonna say, there will have to be, in some instances, to get in every nook and cranny. We even ran across some up the square where nobody thought anything was there. There ended up being a void there that had been blocked in years and years ago. So there will be some alternates whenever it goes out to bid, just in case we run into a few surprises along the way.
And to the best of our abilities, we'll have unit pricing that the contractors have provided out on the bid form to prevent them from the city thinking they have it.
And then one further question. This will be just straight sidewalk. There won't be any bump outs. There won't be any cutouts for landscaping or anything along.
There will be nothing like we have on the square currently. We will have to have a couple areas, we just met again and kind of talked about some of these various things. There are a couple areas where to keep the ADA compliancy or to try the best we can, we may have to come out 18 inches or so with the curb line in a couple spots to widen the area enough to get the proper slope for access points. But there's probably about 3 different areas.
Yep, and we're gonna reduce it as much as we possibly can. We have PROAG, public right-of-way access guidelines, and ADA, which they pull from ADA standards. We gotta meet accessibility and the city, what the city wants and needs, to the maximum amount feasible. So if we can get away with 4 foot, we'll probably do it, but we really need 5 foot clearance for a path. So.
To kind of clarify on that too, is on 4th Street, going west off the square, that road will not get any narrower. We're not going to try to go into a spot that's already an existing issue, taking all those things into consideration. So
Okay.
it's as least impactful as we can.
Ron, you had another question?
Yeah, in reference to Jack, we can't go back and change on the square, right? It's not without a new work order or something like that.
Correct, yeah, this
You're
project.
talking about rounding on the new streets going off of the square, but we can't do anything about the square itself now.
Yeah,
without
it's a
having
completely
a
separate project.
separate deal, so it wouldn't involve these guys.
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions for these gentlemen? Okay, thank you very much. So just keep Josiah involved and don't get anybody upset based on timing, Josiah.
Good luck.
Yes, sir, I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any other presentations? None scheduled? All right, we will move on to public comments. Anyone wishing to address the council, please step to the microphone, state your name and your address, and please limit yourself to 5 minutes. Okay, since we have no public comments this evening, we'll move on to reports of standing committees. First one will be Budget Ways and Means. Alan.
Budget Ways and Means Committee has had a couple of meetings since our last meeting. We met on May the 13th and we heard the Carthage Water and Electric budget, and it looks like there is gonna be a rate increase of about 1.2% for the average residential customer, and the monthly customer charge is gonna go up by 50 cents in that budget, and we have voted to forward that budget to the full council for approval, so we will see that at our first meeting in June. Then we met again last Wednesday. Last Wednesday.
Yep.
And discussed the city budget again, and we have finalized that budget. We're looking at the general revenue portion of that budget is approximately $15 million. And we have voted to forward that to council for approval, so we'll see that on our next meeting in June. The next regularly scheduled Budget Ways and Means Committee will be on June the 8th at 5:30 here in council chambers.
Okay, thank
Your
you. Insurance audit claims, Ron.
Yes, we met here this afternoon. We approved the claims which presented to the council, which will be approved later on. And we also discussed the changes in considering the discussion and changes of section 2-160, resignation and discharge. And we moved to send that to John to get his review and approval and come back to us so that then we can make considerations or any changes. And that's all, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Public safety, David.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Our meeting was on the 18th. During the citizens' participation, we had a presentation and discussion regarding speed limits at Rollins Creek. We discussed that to length, talked to the police chief about that, and we decided to forward to Public Works a recommendation for 15 miles per hour in Rollins Creek. That's due to safety and things like that. Our second item was a discussion regarding the block party for Independence Day on Grand and Bel Air area. I believe this has been going on for 20-some years, so it's pretty much the same as always. It would be closing Grand and Bel Air to Clinton, and Bel Air to Fulton. That is, I believe it was from 6 to 8 p.m., and that's going to be on July the 3rd this year instead of the 4th of July. So at this time, I'd like to make a motion to be able to close those streets for July the 3rd.
Second.
I have a motion and second to close the streets on July 3rd as described by David. Any discussion? Alan?
We were also all invited to participate, or to come watch, I guess, not to participate. For everybody that doesn't know, they've been having this, like David said, for over 20 years. The kids decorate their bikes, they decorate their pets, and they have a little parade there for 4th of July every year. So anyone that is interested, you're invited to attend this event.
Okay. Any other comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Our third item under citizens' participation was regarding Kids Fishing Day. This is also a 20-plus year tradition. Our part of that was as far as closing streets around Kellogg Lake. We're not actually, our committee is not responsible for closing the lake itself, but the street closures around the lake. This is closing everything directly around the lake, and that would be on the fishing day of June the 6th, up until noon that day. They're going to be stocking the lake starting on the 31st of the month with $4,000+ worth of fish, and supposedly some bigger fish this time, so some of the kids should get a chance to catch a fairly good-sized fish. So this time I'd like to make a motion to close the streets around Kellogg Lake for Kids Fishing Day on June the 6th.
Second.
I have a motion and second to close the roads and streets around Kellogg Lake for Kids Fishing Day. Any discussion? Ron?
If the streets are closed, where are they gonna park?
They will have parking areas off the street area, sir, but they won't be able to directly pull down to the lake.
We've been closing these streets around the lake for Kids Fishing Day, and there's a parking lot out to the south of the
Yeah, I know
lake.
there's one there.
And that's where everyone is encouraged to park. They can still park on the I guess the east side of the lake along that road. We don't close that. We only close the road directly around the lake. So that's the
Yeah,
same
so
roads
they
we've been
can't close the
closing.
east side, but they can close the other, well, actually two sides they can't close. 'cause
Right,
they-
we don't close the,
So it's only gonna be those two.
yeah, we
Okay.
don't close the east and north side of the lake, but we've been closing these for years, so everybody should know where to park.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
We have one final item that was a new business item regarding Food Truck Friday. They approached us and asked about closing Chestnut Street from Maple to Garrison. After discussion at length and talking to the fire chief, the suggestion is that we will close westbound Chestnut from Lion Street to Garrison for the, Alan, I don't remember, was this from 10 to 9? I was a little confused on the times it's gonna be closed. Do you remember?
Yes, close it from 10 a.m.
10 a.m. till 9
to
p.m.
9 p.m.
Because there's a cruise in that happens from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. So that would be in coordination with their cruise in. So I would make a motion at this time to close westbound Chestnut from Lion Street to Garrison for 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Food Truck Fridays.
And that's to allow display vehicles,
Right.
show vehicles to basically park in that
Right.
space. That's what
It will
that's
be for display purposes, yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And that would be, oh, I'm sorry. Would that would be for every Food Truck Friday or
Every-
just one event?
No, for each Food Truck Friday, for the rest of this year.
I'll second that.
I have a motion second to close Chestnut Street, westbound Chestnut Street as indicated along the south side of the park. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. All
And
right, David?
that's, I believe that's the end of my report for this time. The only other thing I would mention was, the staff reports from fire department, not too many things to report. The roof repairs are completed. The brush truck is ready. It was still waiting on some striping. I don't know if that's done yet. And the police reported that they have 2 cars about ready to be replaced, and I believe that's everything I have.
Okay, thank you. All right, public services. Beth?
Thank you. We met on May 19th, and I have several things to report because it was a busy, lengthy meeting and a lot of good work that is being done. And I may need a little bit of help because this will be kind of running through it my first time. But one of the things that, just to let you know, we continue to have a great relationship that is very active with the Jasper County Youth Fair organization, and they are requesting parking June 11th through June 8th with some campers that are here for an event. And so I don't think that, I think that requires a motion, the way it's read in the minutes. So I wanted to, the date is June 11th through June 18th for the overnight camping. And this is something that we've done for other organizations on a routine basis. So not every, not constantly, but it's ongoing there. And so at this point, I would like to have a motion to approve the event for the overnight camping, June 11th through the 18th.
Second.
All right, a motion and a second to approve overnight camping in the park or the fairgrounds area. Any discussion? Alan?
What is the organization that will be
I was looking
camping out?
here. Do you have that, Miranda? I
It's
don't.
it's the youth fair.
Just the youth fair?
Oh.
Okay, I thought there was some, it's just their campers. Okay, all right. Yeah.
And just a little more on that. They're asking the state to take care of the animals, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry, thank you. Okay.
So this is something that we've done
Yeah,
routinely
yeah,
every
with the
year.
food, yes, okay.
And it's in July. It says June, but their
Oh,
paperwork says July.
okay. Yeah, thank you. Then the next thing that.
Wait a minute. Any
I'm
other
sorry.
discussion?
Oh, yeah, not done.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. All right, Beth?
Okay. Next thing would be to consider, and the concerts in the park. Brandy Beckham, the president of the Carthage Council on the Arts, requested approval for the concerts to take place in Central Park on the third Saturday of each month, June through August. And they are held, would be held south of the fountain, utilizing a flatbed trailer. It's a little bit different arrangement than they've had before. They've often used the large gazebo, but they thought that this might change it up a little bit, and it would also give them a chance to do some things that they have not done before. So they would be setting the music they would set up, and then the music begins at 7. And then they would also appreciate any promotion that we can give through the city's website and such as well. So what we want to do is to have approval for the concerts in the park to take place that are hosted by the Carthage Council on the Arts, the third Saturday of each June in August, June through August.
Richard, they coordinate that with you already?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so I make that motion.
Second.
All right, I have a motion, a second, to approve the concerts in the park. Any discussion?
Just that it's the same process that we've done for I don't know how many years, so nothing's changed.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Motion passes. All right, Beth?
All right, and then I just have a question first. So this motion is for Kids Fishing Day in Kellogg Park Kellogg Lake Park. And so they want to have permission to request the closure not only from so that they can what do you call it? Stock the fish. My husband, I hope he's not watching, would kill me if he didn't think I knew how to stock fish. So, but at any rate, they want to request that the park lake be closed to public fishing from May 31st, and they would allow to June 6th. This will allow them to stock the pond, or the lake, but also to have the event on June 6th through 8th. So the event would happen, and they would like to have the roads closed. So the motion would be to have the approval to have the roads closed at this time.
Already closed.
The park.
Okay.
Closed.
You wanna close the lake to.
The lake, excuse me, okay, I'm trying to read this off here, excuse me. So we just need to close the lake from May 31st through June 8th for the stocking the fish and the event.
To June 6th.
June 6th, yeah.
Did you make that motion? Oh.
All right, I have a motion, a second, to close Kellogg Lake to fishing
Yes.
during the period indicated to allow stocking and separation or execution of Kids Fishing Day. Any discussion? Ray?
Just that this is also traditional. That's been done every year that I know of, that they've done it, where they close public fishing while the stocking is going on.
Okay, Alan?
We did also discuss this at Public Safety, even though we didn't close the lake. Chief Deininger said that they would patrol and make sure that the no fishing was enforced.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. All right, Beth?
Okay, the next item, and I wanted clarification on this, we have on the agenda under new business and emergency ordinance, or excuse me, we have the one for the entering into the contract with the Fair Acres Family. Why? Do you want to take that at this point or wait until new business?
Until you get to.
Okay, so what I'll do, would you like me to go ahead and just give some brief, okay, and then Richard, I may call upon you as well. Would you like to take this part of it, just to share a little bit about what we talked about?
Certainly.
Or I can, whatever.
Okay, so basically the swimming pool, as you will see in the provided documents in the contract, has agreed to open up their facility to the general public with the city's encouragement financially. So people can go into the YMCA anybody at a reduced rate on Friday and Saturday, the stipulated times in the contract. That's part of the contract. The other part of the contract is the YMCA will be providing lifeguards to the central wading pool. My staff has already got it up and running. Everything's good to go. The YMCA actually opened it up a couple days ago, just in good faith. We said, go ahead, you know, it's ready to go. And if you guys decide not to do the contract, that'd be fine, you know, but they're already operating it and everything's running good. So, you know, that's the main thing. It's just a same thing as in the past, but we're trying to make more aquatics opportunities available for the public, and partnering with YMCA where the kids and adults both can go in to the YMCA on Fridays from, I don't have it memorized, I think 1 to 6, and Saturdays, you know, something like that. I don't know, it's in the paperwork, but you can go in there and take advantage of their pool, their spray pad, and also their locker rooms and sauna. So it's it should be a good deal for them to get more people to come in the front door and, you know, perhaps become Y members that way. So,
Richard, just make sure we get a public announcement posted on the city website that talks times and,
yes,
you
sir.
know, charges. all that
It's
sort of
already
thing.
been posted, and I know it's in here. And
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just don't have it memorized, and as soon as I give you a number, I'll give you the wrong numbers. So.
Okay. Beth?
So I think that the Y has been, had met with us twice and at our meeting, our committee meeting, and then some more follow-up. And I think they've been very responsive to what we've been trying to do to put something in place. And they will also be offering meals for anyone who comes that is eligible for the free, that were not really lunches, but the free bags of food. So I think that's something that is also going to be helpful as well.
And everybody
Yes.
18 and under is eligible for that.
Okay, good.
You don't have to prove anything. If you're basically a teenager or younger, you can get free food at the wading pool during their service hours.
So that by expanding the hours, that's one of the things that will be offered that wasn't offered before. So the other couple more items that we had, we talked also about, let me get this up because I've now figured out how to enlarge it so I can see better. We talked about, as you know, the Lime scooters, and we discussed it, both the pros and the cons, and talked at great length. We went to the Public Safety Committee meeting and talked with Chief Deininger and everyone in that committee about what we were thinking in consideration of that. So there was a motion put on the floor to accept or not the Lime scooter contract, and that motion failed. It was a 2-2 vote, and so it's not going to be coming out of committee. So, but I want to commend everybody for taking the time to do a thorough discussion about what it could mean to the community. We still will have scooters, e-bikes, motorized wheelchairs, and privately owned scooters as well. So we must realize that there's still some enforcement and things that are going to have to go on whether we have that contract or not. So. Then the last thing is there's two things. We had an item for the agenda for the baseball park in Municipal Park that was tabled because the gentleman, Mark Salazar, is that his name?
Yes, ma'am.
Could not come to that meeting, so we will be discussing that at the next meeting, hopefully in June. We also talked about some new playground equipment at the Kitty, especially at the Kitty Land area. That equipment had been pulled from that area, and so we are looking at that as well. And Richard is going to bring some more information about what kinds of equipment that we're looking at, and that is in the budget already, so we can do that. So we took no action on that as well. And we had staff reports, talked about golf on the Memorial Hall report. There's a lot of activity. I think that there's an event that is planned every weekend through September, if I'm not mistaken. So it's being well used in that respect. And we had a Tourism and Public Information Office report, and there are many things that you can look at on the Carthage website about what's going on, both the weekend of June 5th through 8th, as well as throughout the year about Route 66 and other things that are going on in the community. There will also be a garage sale, or excuse me, a sidewalk sale that will be held June 20th by the merchants downtown and the Business Alliance, and there'll be more information forthcoming from that. So I believe that is the balance of the report. The next meeting will be on June 16th, and I'll answer any questions.
Okay, thank you. Public Works, Juan.
Public Works is between meetings. We're scheduled to meet again next Tuesday at 5:30 here in council chambers.
Okay, thank you. We now entertain reports from special committees and board
Mayor?
liaisons.
I just
Jack
wanted to
Hammond.
flush the wading pool. It will not, teenagers will not be allowed in the pool. And they're gonna limit the number of children to 20 at a time.
Good point, thank you.
All right, any special committee or board liaison reports? Jack?
CWEP board met May 14th. It was somewhat of a quiet meeting, but I want to cover some salient points. CWEP is going to launch CARES, which stands for Customer Assistance for Reliable Essential Services Program, to help customers facing financial hardships. We are collecting donations for the fund, and customers are encouraged to round up their bill or add a dollar amount to their monthly bill. They can do so by logging into their online customer account or by calling our office. Applications for assistance are not yet open, but we will let our customers know when the applications do open. And then normal business disbursements were approved, an amount of $5,840,518.82. Directors gave an updated report on operations. All financial statements can be found on the CWEP board packet. New business, this was resolution 2026.05 was approved, which authorized a loan to Little Lambs Child Care from the CWEP revolving loan fund. The revolving loan fund was created through a grant from the USDA to assist with rural development. The revolving loan funds make it possible for qualifying projects to receive zero or low interest financing. The proposed project will help increase the capacity of Little Lambs Child Care Facility from 49 children to 83 children, which I think is a real boost, and we need more child care facilities in our city. B&L Electric was chosen for the project at the power plant, which is they're gonna upgrade relays on the generators and plant ties. Newer style relays will allow for more standard or more detailed information gathering and troubleshooting, increasing reliability and reducing the testing burden on staff. Bids were received and evaluated for landscaping work at the Centennial Complex and the receiving building power plant properties. Scott's Landscape and Excavation was chosen to perform the work. Now this is a beautification project, flowers and whatever. Annual tower to tower 5K run was the biggest one to date with over 130 participants, and they raised $4,200 for the CARES program. And I want to give an update on the proposed contract. It should be coming through soon with the Stockton Lake water. This is through the Southwest Missouri Water Association. Good news is that originally we're going to have to pay $160,000 a year to just have the right to the water. But the DNR stepped up. They're going to pay half of the original. We have 2 years to start at 2% interest for 30 years. So it's approximately $82,000 instead of $160. So I think that's really good news as far as cost. And then June 5th, company picnic. I guess that's it.
Okay, thank you. Alan?
Yes, McCune Brooks Trust Board will meet tomorrow at noon at Schmidt and Associates, and they have some grant applications that they'll be reviewing at that meeting.
Okay, thank you. Susan?
I went to the Boots Court Foundation Board meeting on the 21st of May. They discussed the Route 66 block party that's going to be on June 5th at the Visitor Center, where there's going to be music, a car show, food trucks, and they'll be celebrating the new pavilion and green space. It'll be from 5:30 to 8:30. Looks like a fun evening. They also discussed the budget. Sales at the Visitor Center and motel bookings are going very well, and it looks to be like a profitable summer. The rooms are filled and mostly booked through the whole summer. That's
Thank
all.
you. Okay.
I attended the Vision Carthage board meeting as their liaison from the city, and there was quite a bit going on, as always, with Vision Carthage. There is a dedication on June 1st of the mural by the family, or by the Copeland Pavilion, that will be at 4 p.m. The artist will be attending, and there'll be a reception afterwards, so everyone is encouraged and invited to attend. The banners, as you can see, for the 250th birthday are up, and I think we may even try to do some of those things a little bit as we go forward, given special events. The roundabout at Grand, the flowers have been planted, as well as on the square. Restoration classes have been held and are underway in a series of classes that, if you're interested in participating in Restoration Day, you must attend those classes. At this point in time, the Restoration Day will be held in September 19th, and there are over 50 applications of homeowners that want to apply to participate in that program. So it's very popular. And the last thing that I would mention is that the Carthage Historic Preservation, the Route 66 Subcommittee, and Art Central and Vision Carthage work together to bring about have the opening reception for the artists for the Maple Leaf art pieces that are going to be placed around town, and the booklet that they have to follow a trail to find them it's outstanding. It's got a lot of history, names the artists, and it shows you what you're looking for throughout the community. So it's something I think we'll all be very proud of. So there's quite a bit going on with Vision Carthage. Yes, ma'am.
It's September 26th.
Oh, September 26th. Got the wrong date for the Restoration Day. Thank you.
I worked the 63 applications.
Oh.
Please put you.
All right, Beth, anything else?
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Any other board liaison or special committee reports? Okay, we'll move on then to my report. I'll keep this brief. Realize we got a long meeting tonight. Our budget meetings are continuing. As everyone knows, there's tough choices that got to be made, but we'll do what is necessary to make sure we're straight. Efforts with regard to the pool continue. You should all be seeing Richard sending an update basically weekly on what's going on out there. So you're all aware there's a lot of activity, and I continue to encourage you to share that with your constituents as they're asking questions. Similarly, we've got efforts continuing in the bridge with regard to what we're going to do about bridges, so that is continuing. And additionally, our code enforcement efforts are continuing as well. And as you heard Sally complain, we've got other people that are looking for assistance. I have asked Josiah to coordinate with both Chad and Jason to give all the council members a bi-weekly update on what's going on from a code enforcement standpoint. If you got a specific question, of course, you can go to Ron, who's chairing that for us, but we'll get that out for you as well. And again, share that with constituents as we go forward. I was able to go to the CWEP board meeting as well. Jack, of course, reported on that well. We did have we had another meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment with a couple of requests for exceptions to standbacks and that sort of thing. That went well, and that board is working as it should. CEDC continues to operate and do the things we need them to do. And of course, we're talking still about industrial park and that sort of thing, and we'll talk about that later this evening. Memorial Day ceremony, I was able to attend that at Park Cemetery yesterday, as is always the case, and certainly see this both with Veterans Day and Memorial Day. The audiences every year get a little smaller and a little older, but it was once again well done by our Veterans Alliance, which is, as most of you probably know, is a combination of the American Legion, the VFW, as well as the Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association, the local area, and the auxiliary units. So that was well done at Park Cemetery yesterday. And finally, I am continuing to work the Ward 2 council seat. I've got a couple names have already been provided to me, and I've got other people who have told me that they're going to come with more nominees, if you will. I will make a telephone interview with all of those folks and decide who I think I would like to nominate to you. And of course, we'll try to get this seat filled as soon as possible, but that's going well. And any one of you that may have a suggestion for someone from Ward 2, please just let me know, and I will reach out to them and try to sell them on joining your ranks. So other than that, I will now move on to reports of council members. So Juan, we will start with you.
Yes, I just wanted to add, since I know not everyone attended our services committee meeting, we decided to do the contract with the Y in good faith, since we are doing or looking at fixing because our municipal park pool is closed. We looked at other options, and the Y is what made sense to us. Having that as an option for our city folks just made sense. We also made our kiddie pool time longer. So I think we added, what was that, 2 more hours or 3 more hours, something like that, just to give our folks some more time out there. And then again, just something where they can cool off during the summer. So I just wanted to add that. And then it's $3 at the Y, so it's a reduced cost of $3 for those folks that want to go and swim at the Y during those times. I think originally they charged $8, so it's $5 savings. And it's regardless of if you're an adult or a child, it's $3 all the way around. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well. Other than that, that's all I had.
Okay, thank you. Robin?
Yes, sir. I did want to make a comment. Jack had mentioned the sidewalks earlier, and the sharpness, and that is one thing that I have had a couple of constituents mention to me, that I'm really bad with directions, everybody. So the corner of the square where like Carthage Olive Oil is and those things, that there is like a sharpness there, and they said when they turned that you could definitely almost like catch your tire. It was so, sharp there. And so I hope that in the future that is something that we can maybe avoid. I had not actually noticed that until someone pointed it out to me, and then when I went and looked, there really is kind of a sharp corner there. So I hope that maybe we can avoid that with the remainder.
Okay. Right.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
All right. David?
Nothing right now, thank you.
Jack?
I just wanted to resurrect the Lime Scooter one more time, but I won't. I've got an article here. I printed off an SEC filing for an IPO. So there's about, 200 pages, I think, and you can read all about it. They're going to have to have the IPO because they're $900 million in debt. They got $400 some odd million in assets. So it's a no-win situation.
Jack, how much of your personal wealth are you investing in that?
I'm going to buy about 50,000 shares. They're 3 cents a share right now. But they haven't decided what the strike price is going to be. Or how many shares. I mean, it's just a filing without anything filled in. So who knows when that happens. So, but this article, I mean, you can read it. There's about 10 pages of risks, which are really fascinating. So just read the whole prospectus, because you'd say, wow, I'm going to buy it, and then, wow, I'm never going to buy that stuff. So, I mean, that's how the filings work. Anyhow, that's all I have.
Okay. Alan?
Yeah, so I have a few things I'd like to talk about. Jack mentioned the CWEP CARES program. We did hear about that when they presented their budget. It is not part of their budget because the money will not be commingled with CWEP money. It will be set up as a nonprofit, and those funds will be kept separate from CWEP funds. They will then give that money over to this Economic Security Exchange over in Joplin that people can apply that have a need for those funds. CWEP won't make any decisions on who gets the funds, and so residents can donate money to it, round up your bill, or donate a certain amount per month to help some of the more needy folks in our community. And again, the funnel tower to tower, all the funds this year went in to start that fund. And so that was something that we heard about during our budget hearing. The next thing I'd like to mention, Richard, thank you for working with the Y. They've been a very good partner with the city for years on different contracts, different things that we've worked with them and they've worked with us on. I believe that giving the citizens an opportunity to go to the Y and swim in that pool while our pool is inoperable is a very good compromise, I guess you'd call it. And the rate is hard to beat. I mean, it's $3, 1 to 6 on Friday, 1 to 4 on Saturday, or vice versa. I don't remember the exact times. So I think that's a very good compromise that Richard was able to work out with the YMCA. The last thing, Jack mentioned Lime, so I'm going to mention Lime. And I'm not mentioning it because one way or the other. I'm mentioning it because I'm disappointed that it died in committee. There are a lot of times when I will vote to forward something to this full body to vote on and then vote no in this body, because we have currently 9 members representing the city that can make that decision versus 4 members of this body in a committee. So all I want to do is say, think about when you're voting on something in a committee, even if you don't agree, consider forwarding to this full body, because this full body is the one who really should be making the decisions for this body, not the committees. It's fine to discuss it in those committees, but I would encourage you to think about what that vote to kill it in committee means for this full body on the council. That's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Beth?
I don't have anything else this evening.
All right, thank you. Ron?
I disagree with Alan a little bit. I think that's what our committees are for. But anyway, my main thing is even though both Alan and Jack talked about CWEP, the meeting or the briefing that Chuck gave us was very excellent and in-depth. Yes, it lasted 2 hours, but we know where we're at the city with Carthage Water and Electric and what have you. The citizens of Carthage ought to really appreciate the Carthage Water and Electric, because instead of that small increase that they're going to have to do, they could be in some of these other cities like Joplin and what have you, that could be as high as 20%. So to me, they're doing a very tremendous benefit to the citizens of Carthage, and that's very important. And that's all, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Susan?
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to the reports of the officer of the city. We'll start, Chad, with you.
We've had a pretty busy couple of weeks. We had 3 officers that have been injured in the last couple of weeks, fighting with suspects. Most recent, I think, was in the middle of the day on Central Street, where we had an officer chasing a felon. And instead of getting hit by a car, he hit the car as it went by. His timing was perfect until they hit the brakes. But everybody is okay. Got a couple on light duty. but they're still clicking along, so, fills a void for time off and dispatch. You get to sit at the desk for a while, I don't like that. But other than that, things are moving well, that's all I have.
Jason?
Yes, Your Honor. There was some discussion over the weekend on social media about Fire Station 2 being closed. And I want to assure everyone that's not the case. We have consolidated efforts at times to stem the overtime when we have multiple people off. But generally, when we do close it, it's just during the day, and then the battalion chief will go with 2 guys and man it at night. It has happened on a couple of occasions where the battalion chief was one of the people off, and so we ran with 5 men out of Station 1, and myself or Deputy Chief Maples was on the radio at home, ready to respond. So there's been no reduction in services, but we're trying to stem the cost of the overtime and manning the stations with adequate personnel. It's not safe to respond with less than 3 to a call, and that's pretty much where we're going to stick when it comes to our response efforts. There was a question also about the baby box being at Station 2 and it needing to be a 24-hour facility, which it is, but if that alarm is activated, if someone opens the door, it immediately goes through the dispatch process, and police, fire would respond from Station 1, and the hospital would be notified as well as myself. So it's no different than if they were out on an emergency call and somebody put a baby in the box. So at no time would there be a child left alone for more than just a minute or 2 before someone was there. I talked to Dina Thomas today, who was instrumental in getting the baby box, and she was very happy with the explanation. And regarding the truck, the striping on the truck, that's scheduled for next Tuesday. That's as soon as we can get in to get that done, and then you'll see it running around town. That's all I've got tonight.
Okay, thank you. Josiah?
Yeah, just one thing to note on the upcoming sidewalk project. If anybody knows any of the business owners or anybody that might be concerned with any of their areas out in front of their business, have them reach out to Public Works, get in touch with me. We'll get a meeting set up, but I will be going around these next few weeks and just knocking on doors, making phone calls, trying to get in touch with anybody that does own property there, so we can see. It's really important that we can get down below if there are voids and get pictures and measurements, so we have ideas of the sizes of some of those, so we can plan and prepare the best we can. Anything existing on some of these other projects, or any project as far as that goes, Robin, you said that some of the sharp areas or something, that's great information for me to have, because now I can send some guys to go look at that very specific thing. And that is something just staff-wise, we can take care of that in-house. You know, we don't have to tear out an entire sidewalk or anything, but maybe we can do something to help alleviate an actual issue that may be there, that we're just not sure about. I will be preparing, and we'll be sending out the bi-weekly code enforcement report this Friday afternoon to give some updates there, as the mayor stated. The other thing is, we did spray for mosquitoes last week. I know the mosquitoes are awful this year already with all the rain that we've been getting. And I hate to complain about it because we needed the rain so bad. But if anybody has any extra areas of concern, please call Public Works, notify us, and maybe we can look for some standing water in some areas that maybe we can either go take care of that, or put some dunks in with property owners' permission or something, that we can maybe help knock out some of those areas as well. Tonight we will have the one thing on one of the new business that we have. I just wanted to touch base and clarify that. So we do not have the actual agreement in place yet. It has not been drafted, but we will need to discuss the engineering agreement for a notice to proceed, and then they will give us this draft and we'll review that accordingly. And it is also, will be an hourly, billed out hourly. So whenever they do review these plans, it's based on hourly rates, and then it will be, never exceed $25,000. So that's the max amount that it could be. Just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Richard?
Okay, just so I got the numbers right, now I'm gonna speak the fact. If approved later on in the agenda, the YMCA will open the wading pool. The best way to think of this is every day about noon to 6. And about 4:30 or 5, they'll have supper there for you. So noon to 6 every day, weather permitting. And then if you want to go inside the YMCA to use their pool, it will be open on Fridays between 1 and 6 and Saturdays between 1 and 4, with a couple exceptions whenever they have swim tournaments and stuff. But that's just the general thing there. And so, yeah, the aquatics has really taken a lot of our time. And other than that, it's getting really busy. Unfortunately, Mother Nature's been fighting us as far as the Little League. We've had several days of rain out, so you never can tell if we're going to be playing or not until you get out there. But we're doing our best to get the fields. They're ready every time. It's just if we can play after the rain comes. So that's all I have, sir.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Jack?
One comment, the Y will not, well, they don't want anyone in the locker rooms. Whoever goes swimming has to have their swimsuit on when they enter. They can't go into the locker rooms. I think that was my understanding. Is that what you heard?
No, sir.
You didn't hear that?
No, sir.
Anybody else hear that?
They can use locker rooms and the sauna.
No, Jack, I think they have to have a swimsuit on, they can't go in like cutoffs or shorts.
That's
They
in
have
the
to have a
Central Park
swimsuit on
pool.
to swim in any of the pools.
No, they're providing locker rooms for changing at the Y.
Okay.
All right, obviously Tracy's not here tonight, she's on vacation. Miranda, do you have anything for the group?
No, sir.
John?
Nothing tonight.
Okay, we will now entertain the report of the Claims Committee. Claims against the city.
The Committee on Claims filed a report in the amount of $851,633.50.
Ron?
Make a motion that we approve the claims as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the claims as presented. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Claims are approved. All right, we have no public hearings this evening. We'll move now to old business. Miranda, first council bill.
One has his hand raised.
Oh, Juan.
Mayor, I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda. Jack, Alan, and Ron still have Lime on the mind. I do too, so I think it makes sense to have one final discussion on Lime scooters.
All right, we will add that as the last item on the old business. All right? All in favor of that adjustment to the agenda?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I didn't hear a second.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Now I vote.
All ayes except Ron was a no.
Yep.
All right, the agenda is modified. Let's move forward. First council bill.
The second reading of Council Bill 2625, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the Carthage Chamber of Commerce for specified services from July 1st, 2026 to June 30th, 2027 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Cast your vote. Council bill passes. Next council bill.
The second reading of Council Bill 2626, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a contract between the city of Carthage and the Carthage Over 60 Center for services in the amount not to exceed $23,000.
Any discussion?
I understand this is for their utilities and a very small amount for upkeep on the building.
Yes.
Yes.
Any other discussion? or questions? Cast your vote.
Susan, did you say that?
Yes.
Council bill passes. Next council bill.
The second reading of Council Bill 2634, an ordinance accepting the final plat of South Rollins Creek as submitted by J Builders LLC, generally located at the northeast corner of Fairview and Buena Vista in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Cast your vote. Council bill passes. Next council bill.
The second reading of Council Bill 2635, an ordinance to amend section 25-251 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Carthage, Missouri to add subsection 19, short-term rentals as a special use with regulatory standards.
Any discussion? Cast your vote. Council bill passes. All right, next agenda item will be a discuss Lime scooter, and I will let Juan, you take the floor.
All right, so I'm just gonna recap some of the numbers that we've been given as a council that Richard was able to get from Lime. So just to recap, the last year that we had Lime, we had 79,524 trips, 20,725 riders, 123,865 miles covered. Average riding time was 9 minutes. We had 17 active users that were on the discounted rate program. So we have 17 folks that fall under that criteria, with 96 trips completed by those folks. So it is a program that is being used. And just to get rid of it completely doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I do think there needs to be some modifications done to what our geofencing map looks like. And I don't know, Miranda, if you can pull up the proposed map that so this is the original map that was done while we tested it. I want to propose this, and I'll make my motion here before long, once everyone has a chance to talk a little bit, to accept the trial map that we had when we originally rolled it out, excluding the square, excluding Kellogg Lake, and including the parks. So I feel like that's a very fair, conservative compromise that takes into account the need for them and the concern for them as well. So we're looking at 2 real main streets, maybe 3 you want to consider it, and the parks, right? And it's shutting off the whole city. So that is, I believe, a very fair compromise that, pending that anyone, having any major concerns, that I'll be proposing as soon as we're done discussing it any further.
Any questions for Juan? Jack?
I don't have a question. Am I allowed to read this?
Sure.
This is from the SEC filing risks. In the spirit of ex-councilwoman Schramm, I'm going to read this. This is their words in the filing. We believe that building a strong reputation and brand as safe, reliable, and affordable service is critical to our ability to obtain and maintain permits and attract and retain riders. The successful development of our reputation and brand depends on a number of factors: claims of accidents involving our vehicles and other causes of injury, particularly injuries involving serious injury or death, including negative publicity surrounding each of such events, have occurred and are likely to continue to occur. Additionally, the perception that our offerings are unsafe could harm our reputation and may make it less likely that riders would be willing to try or continue using our platform. For example, in the United Kingdom, we are subject to claims that our vehicles increase the risk of leg injuries. Other complaints are negative publicity about us, our vehicles, riders, our customer support, Our offerings and our policies and guidelines could also adversely affect our reputation. For example, there have been negative articles addressing our vehicles' interference with access to public spaces and our vehicles being thrown into bodies of water. Our reputation can also be affected by public uses of our vehicles. For example, our vehicles have been featured in photos from political demonstrations and events such as the June 2025 Los Angeles protest. Furthermore, from time to time, our vehicles are stolen, damaged, or vandalized, which has led to decreased reliability and performance, which may adversely affect our reputation. Even if the negative reports are factually incorrect or based on isolated incidents, negative reports can diminish confidence in and the use of our offerings. In addition, non-compliance or poor operations by our competitors could lead to negative perceptions of the shared micro-mobility industry as a whole. If we cannot successfully address these issues and maintain and develop our brand and reputation, we may experience decreased usage by existing riders, decreased rider acquisition, reduced fleet deployment in certain cities, increased regulatory scrutiny, including revocation of permits, and increased claims or increased litigation. This is from their SEC filing under risks. And it goes on and on and on. I wasn't realizing there's about 10 competitors in the world that have these micro-mobility. And the issue with the permits is an ongoing issue. And it's also with insurance. There's another, I didn't copy that, but about the insurance. They have to have insurance, which is becoming more and more difficult to acquire because of what I just read. So, you know, I mean, you can read all the weasel words and say, wow, that's really great. But then there's about 10 pages of risk detailing what could happen. So, anyway, that's all.
I have a
All right,
question.
Ron.
Yeah. Number one, I'm disappointed that we take the power of the committees away from us, trying to supersede them or override it. Number two, I've talked to a lot of individuals. I've only had one individual contact me that they were in favor of the Lime scooters. Dozens and dozens of other people, both business and residential, don't want to see them on their streets anymore. I've had businesses complain about leaving their scooters up on the square. I know you're trying to restrict it some, but I still don't believe that those restrictions are qualified there. You still haven't answered to me the responsibility of the police to enforce this, because let's face it, you put restrictions on them. We found them clear out in the county, even though there was restrictions that they weren't even supposed to be out of the city limits. So that restriction thing doesn't work. Who's gonna take care of policing all those young kids that are on those Lime scooters that are not 18 years old? And I've very seldom seen an individual over the age of 18 on those Lime scooters. Mainly young kids whose parents, however they do it, circumvent the system, use their credit card or whatever identification they need to be able to use those Lime scooters and say, here, go kids. So now you're gonna make Chad over there have to be responsible for policing something that we're putting in place. You hit one, who's gonna be responsible? You back out here on the square, you hit a kid. Who are they gonna come after? They're not gonna come after any one of us. They're gonna come after the person driving that car. They're gonna be liable. That's gonna go on their records. $5,000 is all you get from the Lime scooters that's been reported. And you're fighting so bad for $5,000 so that a few, especially during Marin days, because that's probably where you got most of your riders and what have you during Marin days. So a week, maybe 2 weeks out of the year, you're pushing for all the individuals to be able to Lime scooters, I'll be voting no against it. That's all, Your Honor. I've said enough several times before.
On the map, it shows, does that show Garrison and Grand?
Yes,
And then
it's-
the area like Fur Road behind Walmart, is that right? That little green block that's just below Supercenter?
So it's Grand and River.
Grand and
And then
River.
River to the, Carter Park, and then over, and then I believe that other one is Oak Street.
What's that one
No,
at the
it's not
bottom,
Oak
very
Street.
bottom?
That might be Macon down the middle, off to the side.
And what's at the very bottom, in that
The
green
bottom,
box?
I believe, is Fair Acres. And then there's Municipal Park and, yeah, like the whole middle of town, and Juan said they are working on geofencing the square.
Yeah, cutting
And
off
then
the
Kellogg
square.
Lake would not be on there as well, and then adding. You wouldn't have to.
No, we wouldn't have to add anything.
Yeah, no.
It would just be cutting off, Kellogg Lake and the square.
So my question is, whenever, we asked Richard, whenever he talked to them, what they could do for the geofencing, they couldn't give us an answer.
We
This-
know they could do that because we have that.
Okay, this was
We're
from
just-
before though, wasn't it?
Correct.
Okay, but it's been changed a little bit, hasn't it, since then, since this test one?
Yeah, so Tracy said in 2022, someone made the call and we went from having some geofencing to having none at all. We had 2 roads and like little patches. This is what it was. This is what it was after 2022.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
And so is that why they were finding them outside of town, out in county and all that? Because
That
they
could be
didn't
it.
have
I mean, technically, someone could throw one in the back of their truck and take it out wherever they want. I mean, that is a possibility. I can tell you why they were finding them out there, but they shouldn't, based on what the map has. This is I don't know if this includes county or not. I guess there is some county out there.
They
yeah,
should have
under
shut
town.
off after that geofence, cause I know if you ride them into an area where it is, you're not supposed to
Stops
ride,
working.
you barely make it in and it'll beep at you and it stops.
Yeah, it
Right
starts
away,
slowing
so
down.
the ones in county, yeah, like he said, they had to have been taken by a car, or
Yeah.
carried if you wanted to carry that, but they do stop working once you hit the geofence. And it's not, they said in the past, it's not exact, so as soon as you hit the road, it's not gonna stop immediately, but it's fairly accurate based on what you tell them you want it to stop at. Like what areas, they have to do it on their own, so if you want the square, they'll most likely have to extend it, so they'll stop working before you can even get up to the square.
And how long does it take for them to activate all that?
I don't think it takes very long, I would say a few days, do you know, Richard? I think once you tell them, it's just a matter of them working through the order of.
Right, that would be part of the contract negotiations, say, this is what we want. And then they would say, this is possible or it's not possible, because geofencing historically is keeping someone out of an area. Like you don't want them on the square, so you put a fence around it to keep people out. What this original plan was and what is theoretically being proposed is the opposite of keeping people out. It's making an area where they are allowed only. Does that make sense?
It does, but I don't feel like, I feel like if we were to vote for this and they're saying they may or may not be able to do that, it's not giving me a clear answer on if that fencing is gonna be able to be done.
I tried to get a clear answer and they couldn't give me one until they knew what we.
If it makes it any better, when I make my motion, it's gonna be pending that they can do this. If they can't, then it'll die. There, it won't go any further. So that's my proposal when I make my motion.
And what about regulating I mean, in my mind, I feel like that if someone under 18 gets caught on it, the parents need to be fined for it. Because they apparently were able to use their parents' card or whatever to get on there and they were breaking the law.
It would be no different than what we do now with scooters and.
With seatbelts even. I mean, if someone
yeah,
gets caught without their seatbelt, they get a fine.
Yeah.
So I think that that's something that should be thought about too, to keep the parents from putting their kids on those scooters.
Has Chad got a comment on that, of the fines?
As far as, can we find them?
Yeah.
Well, right now, they're treated just like any other motorized vehicles on the roadway. If you don't have a driver's license, then you could potentially get a citation or arrested for driving without a license. We do have ordinances in place in the city for other motorized scooters other than mine, that can't have them on sidewalk. You gotta obey the traffic laws, so really in my world, it doesn't change, it's just another motorized vehicle on the roadway. One thing that I will add is we cannot enforce rules, we have to enforce laws. So mine might have a rule that says you have to be 18, there's nothing we can do about that. The law has to say that, and it does not.
So if they're 16 and have a license and they get caught on it, they're following the law, they're just not following Lime's rules.
Yeah.
We cannot enforce, I will say if they don't have a driver's license, then we can do the investigation to track down that a parent allowed an unlicensed driver to drive a motor vehicle, and then enforcement action we can take on that. But again, you're taking a simple traffic stop now into a whole nother level of investigation, which is phone calls and travel and officers' time, to do a citation. If they're under 15 and a half years old, there is nothing that we can do to them for municipal traffic violations, other than calling JA's office and let them know what happened. And most likely, this is a habitual individual that JA's office deals with. There's nothing like it except for cite the parent if they actually allow it to happen. It's no different than a vehicle or anything else that we know about.
I can't tell by this map, is that Second Street on the north?
It's Chestnut. The top line?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's Chestnut from Carter Park to, I guess, this area.
okay, so that's Chestnut, what's the south line?
It's
main big
Chestnut
block.
and then River to Fair Acres, and then it's Grand up to the center of town, and I believe it's Macon out to Municipal Park.
Okay, but,
I don't know
okay,
if
I'm
it's all
talking about the
city.
big rectangle.
It should
Oh,
be
the cutoff is, I think, Griggs Park at the bottom.
Okay, so it's Centennial? And then,
Yeah, most likely.
It should be whatever our bike paths were.
Robin, you had a question too?
Yeah, it looks like
A
it's.
question, well, a statement, I guess. I did want to address Susan that I was on council back when we initially did the test run of this, and there were no issues with that, and perhaps to our mistake, then we opened it up as far as we have. So I can see no reason why they could not simply do this in reverse. There was no issue with opening it up, but there was no issue when this was the trial run. This was what they ran for the whole first year of the contract, and then we, as a council, decided to open it up further. So we're really just asking them to do it again, what they had done previously.
So it would be like what we discussed earlier, where this council could vote for that, and then the next council can have them open it up again.
They could, sure.
Every year
I mean,
they
you're
have to
gonna
renew.
review the contract every year,
Yeah.
so.
David.
Yeah, and, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
And then I was just going to address what Ron said about, if someone gets hit, and I will say, since our last discussion, I very much paid attention to what I'm seeing throughout town. And probably no less than a dozen times in my own neighborhood, we don't have Lime scooters running right now. I have seen scooters, mini bikes, stand-up scooters. I've seen all kinds of things in my neighborhood that don't have anything to do with Lime. Bicycles. So if you're gonna say, well, what do I do if I back into somebody off the square? Well, what if you back into a kid riding a bicycle on the square who's 12 or 14, or a kid who has a mini bike, those dangers exist regardless of whether Lime is here or not. We have kids riding all over town on bikes. We have people on mini bikes. Those things are happening anyway. I think a lot of what we're seeing, we're automatically associating that with Lime, and that's not necessarily the case. Those things are running regardless of whether we have Lime or not.
David?
All right. I'm just gonna say, our personal note, a big part of that green area is my ward and where I live at. And we've always had trouble with the Lime riders running through four-way stops, not even slowing down. And as I've said before, sometimes it's multiple riders 2 or 3 little kids on the line. And honestly, I'm surprised nobody's been hit so far. I can see the point. We've already got electric scooters, bikes, whatever in town. I don't see a reason to add more to the streets. As I've said before, I think it's a bad idea, and I still feel it's a bad idea.
Alan?
So I would like to remind everyone, a vote tonight would only initiate Richard to discuss with Lime a contract, and that contract will come back before this body, before it is finalized. So if we vote yes or vote no tonight, if we vote yes tonight, Richard will go to Lime. Lime will tell us if they can do this again, and if they can't, it will be in the contract, and then that contract will have to come back to council, because the contract has to come up for approval to council. So a vote yes tonight does not automatically say Lime's gonna be in town. It gives Richard the ability to go talk to Lime and say, this is what we want. If you can't get us a contract with this, then
But my question is,
there won't be a contract.
he asked them about it and they couldn't give him answers. So if he's gonna talk to them again, how much time does he need to give them to come up with?
Well, they'll have to put it in the contract, and if they come back with a contract that doesn't have this in it, at that point, we can still vote no.
And Susan, what you did share was that the individuals you were dealing with were newer to their position, right, from what I remember you sharing. So they probably weren't able to give an answer because they didn't know. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, right? I don't know if that makes it any better or not, but
Not really.
gives you a little more context, right? Well,
Any other discussion before we entertain a motion?
at this time, I'll make a motion that we.
Well, wait a minute, is there any other discussion, any other questions before he makes a motion? Okay, go ahead, Torm.
All right, so I'll make a motion that pending that Lime can incorporate this map excluding Kellogg Lake in the square, that Richard goes and tries to negotiate a contract with Lime.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to allow Richard to attempt to negotiate with Lime to have a contract in place which would incorporate all of the restrictions that have been displayed and talked about this evening. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
No.
All right, we'll have to do a roll call vote.
Just
All
the
in-
no's, raise your hand. I think it was the. It failed 4-5.
Okay, motion is defeated. All right, we'll now move on to new business. First Council Bill, Miranda.
The first reading of Council Bill 2636, an emergency ordinance authorizing the mayor to exercise the buyback option on property located in Myers Park that was previously sold to TIA Investments LLC for the amount of $130,000.
Any discussion? Alan?
Your Honor, I'd like to make a motion, since this is an emergency ordinance, to move Council Bill 2636 to second reading.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to move this council bill to second reading. Any discussion? Jack?
How many acres or what's involved in this purchase?
Hold on.
Jeff,
Sorry?
do you know how many acres are involved in this TIA? Is it 7?
It's a little less than 4, I think.
It's in the Myers Park area?
Yes, I understand.
And, okay.
I think it's 3, close to 3.
Does that answer your question, Jack?
Yes, thank you.
Alan?
So I'll give a little background on this. When we sold this Myers Park land originally to TIA Investments, we did sell it to them below market value. And we put a stipulation in that contract because it was below market value, that if they did not develop that land, then the city had the right to buy that land back. We did this with some other land out there, and they have not developed it. There are some covenants on that land that restrict certain types of businesses. And so because of that, the TIA Investments did not develop this land, and that's why we are purchasing this land back.
Okay, thank you. We do have a motion and a second to move this to second reading. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, move it to second reading. Miranda, please.
The second reading of Council Bill 2636, an emergency ordinance authorizing the mayor to exercise the buyback option on property located in Myers Park that was previously sold to TIA Investments LLC for the amount of $130,000.
All right, any discussion? Cast your votes. Council bills have been approved. All right, next council bill.
And the first reading of Council Bill 2637, an emergency ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the Fair Acres YMCA Incorporated for management of the wading pool and to allow patrons to utilize certain amenities of the Fair Acres Family YMCA at a reduced cost for the 2026 season in the amount of $35,000 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Jack.
What is involved in the, I thought it was less than 35. Richard, what's involved in this?
It's, the YMCA is managing the wading pool. The YMCA is providing opportunities at a reduced rate to enter into their facilities, the general public, on Fridays and Saturdays between the hours previously discussed. And the YMCA is also doing a water safety program available to all second graders in the summer school from Steadley, Fairview, and Columbian Elementary.
Okay, I don't remember the 35,000 in the discussion for long that Jonathan gave, so that's what I was asking. I mean, it's in cumulative. I didn't hear $35,000.
Can I just say something? There was a couple of different options, and this option was more hours and more days for a higher price than the very minimum amount we could have done. And so we opted to go with the
option 4.
Yes, which would
Which
provide
was 30, okay.
which would provide for kids to have meals 18 and under, and it would have the wading pool open on holidays and weekends.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, Beth?
Yes, I just was gonna say that was, we already have the amount that we had originally gonna contract with the Y, which was, I believe, about $100,000. So this was coming out of that portion of the money, and we felt like that was, to expand that option was going to give the city the most bang for the buck.
Alan?
So in the contract, section 2.6, use of Fair Acres Family YMCA, says the YMCA will allow community patrons to use the Fair Acres Family YMCA facility on Fridays and Saturdays between May 29th and August 8th. Hours 1 to 6 on Fridays, 1 to 4 on Saturdays. Community patrons will be charged $3. Fee will allow access 6-lane lap pool, basketball, volleyball, and other play options, warm therapy pool, fenced-in outdoor space with a splash pad, full locker room with changing rooms and shower, and dry sauna for patrons 18 years of age and older. They will also provide a water safety program to all second graders from Steadley, Fairview, Columbian, and maintain attendance records for non-YMCA members. So they're providing more than just the pool and the locker rooms at the Y. It's full access, it looks to me like, is what they're providing.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? If not, I'd entertain a motion to move this to second reading.
I'd like to move that this bill be moved for second reading.
Second?
Okay, I have a motion and a second to move this to second reading. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, second reading, Miranda.
The second reading of Council Bill 2637, an emergency ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the Fair Acres Family YMCA Incorporated for management of the wading pool and to allow patrons to utilize certain amenities of the Fair Acres Family YMCA at a reduced cost for the 2026 season in the amount of $35,000 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? Cast your vote. Council bill passes. Next council bill.
In the first reading of Council Bill 2638, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Union Pacific Railroad Company for the plan review of the Oak Street Bridge in the amount of $25,000 in the city of Carthage, Missouri.
Any discussion? All right, thank you. We'll move on now. We have no appointments for this evening. We're caught up right now, but more are coming, I promise you. Nor do we have any resolutions tonight. So we will start with closing comments. I will begin basically by saying I appreciate everyone's willingness, to include the Ys, to try to work through our pool challenge. And we're working hard to come up with a long-term solution to that. And once we come up with that, we'll let you know. Again, as I've already mentioned to you, we'll talk about Award 2 council person as soon as possible. And other than that, that's all I have for this evening. So we'll move on. Juan, start with you tonight for closing comments.
Just thanks everyone for the good conversation over Lime. I know there's a lot of big feelings behind them. I feel like we did the wrong decision here, but regardless, I still appreciate the conversations that we had. And just giving your time to it. So thank you guys. That's all I have.
Robin.
Yes, I agree with Juan, what he said regarding Lyme in all cases. I do encourage us sometimes to remember that when we represent people, we represent every person in every economic background. But also, I wanted to say that I am also happy that the Y has come up with something for the pool situation and partnering with us. I see lots of comments sometimes on social media about the pool being a hot topic, and I hope that our community member knows, as a previous council person, I can genuinely say the pool has not been an issue that hasn't tried to be tackled before. It's hard to get everybody always on the same page to make big changes, especially when it's such a big expense and undertaking. But I know that previous councils, including my own and some that I was not involved with, have tried very hard to tackle that subject, and it is very, very difficult to get everybody on the same page. But I hope that, I think that looking at it and the weekly reports are a great thing, and I hope that we can come up with a solution for our community members, because I know that they want something to be able to use.
Is that it?
Yes, sir.
Thank
sorry.
you. Right.
No closing comments, thank you.
David.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
Jack.
I have 2 questions. During the CWEP board meeting, I thought Chuck Bryant said that they were gonna have ground penetrating radar flown in. Did I hear that? I thought that's what he said. This was 2 weeks ago, to actually see what's under the pool. So I don't, is that?
Yeah, they have it come through normally as part of their standard engineering analysis of the area. And that is going to be in the area as well, and they'll look at the same time.
But it hasn't happened yet?
Not that I'm aware of, Richard, unless you're aware of it's done already.
It's already happened as far as the taking of the pictures, but they being the company that took the pictures has not filed or compiled their report. And as soon as it's compiled, it's going to go through CWP, and they'll give me the results, and then I'll put it in, hopefully, this Friday's weekly report that everybody looks forward to.
Okay. And then the second thing, Was forward here, municipal pool weekly status report, number 5. There's a thing from Jason Choate, Flynn Drilling. It's not signed, I mean, Flynn, but what are they gonna drill and where are they gonna drill? Just for the old well, or are they gonna drill a new well?
That's for repair and updates to the old well. The well itself is fine.
That's
It's,
just an estimate.
I know it's an estimate, I'm saying it's not passed, I just wanna know where they're gonna
There
drill
was,
it.
years ago, they drilled a separate well to support the pool in the park.
Okay.
And not surprisingly, that thing really wasn't well maintained over the years, and that's the status of that well right now.
It's just a
So that's
rework.
gonna be part of, whatever the solution is, that would be part
It's
of
a
the solution.
rework, so essentially.
correct, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anything else, Jack?
No, that's it.
Alan?
Yeah, Richard, you surprised me again tonight. There's something happening like July, I don't know, someday in July. You didn't mention it, but I'm gonna mention it for you. Red, White, and Boom, July 4th at the park. Richard's working hard on that, so wanted to mention that.
Miranda is too.
Miranda's working hard. I just wanted to say, my comment earlier about bringing the Lime to full council, I think the outcome was probably the same as it was, but you see, everybody got to vote that represent their constituents and not just the 4 members of the committee. Ron, I don't think that we're taking any power away from the committee. I believe the committee should ask questions. I believe the committee should debate and discuss everything, but I still, if it's a big issue, I still believe it should come to this body and let this body be the one that votes yea or nay. I don't believe that there should be 4 members of this body that can control something that this body doesn't have at least an opinion and an opportunity to express their vote. So I just expressed my disappointment earlier. I wasn't chastising or I wasn't criticizing anyone. I'm just saying that I have voted in committee to forward something to council and then voted no in council because I didn't believe that it was what my constituents wanted me to vote. So that's all I'm saying. Think about it when you're in those committees, ask questions. That gets more information to be brought forward when those things come to council. And I believe this body as a whole deserves the opportunity to vote on those things. That's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Beth?
Yes, I'd just like to say that I appreciated the conversation and the work that's been done to bring the issue there, even though I'm glad to move it on, but I'm disappointed. But I do want to remind everybody that we will still have Lime, we will still have private scooters, we will have electric bikes, we will have wheelchairs that are motorized, which I saw 2 on the square going the wrong way, down the middle of the street. And so at some point, if that set of issues rises to the occasion, if we have to take up further action, I think we've got to be aware that the problem didn't go away because we don't have the Lime scooters. And I had several constituents that really were in favor of it, having them. And it doesn't affect me, I don't ride them, but I also wanted to think about the entire ward in that. But I do appreciate and respect everybody's opinion. I wanted to say thank you to Chief Martin for this explanation that you gave on Facebook. Some people would say you didn't have to do that, but I found that I had a lot of people when I put it on the council page that were really appreciative of the fact that you took the time to respond. And I thought it was very well thought out, so I appreciate it. And I hope everybody has a good rest of the month. Time has flown, and I'm off the end of this week to go see grandbabies, so life will be good at the end of the week too. Thank you.
All right, Ron?
I don't know if I dare. Alan, I'm sorry, I disagree with you, but that's what this council's about, opinions and disagreements and what have you. Second, I hate to tell how old I am, but I can remember when the YMCA didn't even charge for you to go into it down here by the high school. It was free. But times change and cost is there. In fact, the pool used to be run strictly by the parks. Had nothing to do with the YMCA back then. And I guess that's all, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Susan?
Yeah, and I would also like to say I appreciate the conversation and helping me with answering my questions. I've gone back and forth with the Lime scooters in my head, and I just don't feel like that they are, I know that we have private individuals out on them, but I feel like we're contributing to that problem by having the Lime out there with them. And that's just my opinion, but I do appreciate the answering the questions and helping me out with that. And also, I guess I'm supposed to read this. I'm going to make a motion that we go into closed session according to section 610.021. The agenda includes the possibility of a vote to close part of the meeting to discuss leasing, purchase, or sale of real estate by a public governmental body where public knowledge of the transaction might adversely affect the legal consideration therefore.
Second.
I have a motion, a second, to adjourn this session and go into closed session. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we will re-adjourn upstairs in 10 minutes. All right, I will call the city council back to order. And roll call, please.
I see everyone here, all 9 people.
Here.
All right.
That works.
And unless someone has further business, I would entertain a motion to
Make a
adjourn.
motion to
So
adjourn.
moved.
Second.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned.
Ding dong.
Okay.